We're working pinpoint weather team coverage of the ongoing storm cleanup across southern New England.
About 30,000 homes and businesses across Rhode Island are still without electricity tonight, more than 24 hours after severe thunderstorms barreled across our area, leaving heavy destruction in their wake.
And we've learned the power may not be fully restored until tomorrow. Today, Governor Gina Raimondo got a first-hand look at the damage in Warwick, one of several communities hit hard by yesterday's wild weather.
Eyewitness News reporter Madeline Wright has a closer look at the daunting task of cleaning up after those downed trees.
But we begin tonight live in Warwick with Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell.
Right now we're on Lansdowne Road. This is a perfect example of all the work there still is to do here. If you take a look down the road this way, you can see there are still trees and power lines down on this part of the road. But if you follow me this way, you can see we've got a huge men working sign. This road has been cleared of debris that's all pushed off to the side. There are crews down there working. This is the kind of work that has to happen to get that power fully restored. The governor tells us she is hopeful that 90% of power will be restored by tonight. Somewhere behind those trees and leaves and power lines, that's Leslie Allen's home.
The damage that is done, I've never seen anything like it. We have at least 7 trees down. Both of our cars were crushed in the driveway. It's a mess.
There was similar damage all throughout Warwick's Governor Francis Farms neighborhood. Governor Gina Raimondo toured the hard-hit area Wednesday afternoon.
Your heart goes out to these families.
Is there a chance for a disaster declaration in any of these cities or towns that have been hit?
My team is going to get out there tomorrow to assess the full extent of the damage and then make a determination. I can promise you, if we are eligible for federal money, we're going to go get it.
But for now, it's all about cleanup. Many roads are still littered with trees and power lines.
Once the wires aren't live, then we can go in and move the trees. Once we remove the trees, they can come back in and reconnect the wires. So it's a multi-pronged process that we have to take. And so I'm just asking people to be patient as we make our way through it.
Tim Horan, the president of National Grid, tells us there are 280 line crews and 95 tree crews working in Rhode Island to help restore power.
We're making real good progress. We're working tirelessly, very comfortable with the process we have in place, but we're not stopping until we get it done.
Now, throughout the day, we've actually seen people walking and driving over downed power lines. So we have a word of caution from National Grid. Of course, it is never safe to be around downed power lines. You should always assume they are live and simply stay away from them. Now, coming up new at 6, hear from Warwick's fire chief about how his emergency crews are dealing with roads that are still blocked. Live in Warwick with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.
We begin with pinpoint weather team coverage. Southern New England still recovering from yesterday's wild weather.
There are about 20,000 National Grid customers still without power right now in Rhode Island. That's down from yesterday's peak of 121,000.
Those in the dark are still trying to cope without electricity. In addition to residents, store owners are trying to make do with what they have to try and maintain business as usual.
New at 6 tonight, we've just learned that the community with the most outages right now, Warwick, is opening a shelter again tonight at Warwick Vets High School.
And we have pinpoint weather team coverage tonight. Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca standing by with new information from the National Weather Service.
Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen checked in with businesses operating without power.
But first, let's go to Susan Campbell live in Warwick.
Guys, if you take a look, you can see there is so much work going on here. Right now, we're on Lansdowne Road. Take a look across the street. We've got heavy equipment just driving by. Right beyond that, we have trees that are being cut down, moved away, so those power lines can be cleared. If you take a look this way, follow me down the road this way. This truck just arrived within the last few minutes. It has a New York license plate on it. That's important because we know there are crews coming in from several surrounding states to try to clear all of this up. And you can see there is a lot of work still to do. 36 hours after a powerful storm ripped through Rhode Island, some roads are still covered in trees and power lines.
I have never seen a storm of this magnitude. I have also never seen a worse response. We have been totally cut off at my house to the point where my husband, who is almost 69 years old, went out with a chainsaw to cut enough debris away so we had emergency exit should we need it.
So we asked Warwick's fire chief how emergency crews are handling those roads that are still blocked.
Emergency vehicles, I have them out on the road right now checking the areas to make sure that they can go down each and every road that we take care of in the city of Warwick. If there's a road that's been blocked, they have an alternate route that they'll have to take to get to that location. They also, our fire alarm has a list of any road that may be blocked, and they'll inform them as they're responding what roads are blocked.
The governor was here in this area touring all of the damage with the president of National Grid and the mayor today. They say crews are going to work around the clock until everything is back to normal. The governor tells us she is hopeful that 90% of power will be restored by tonight. Live in Warwick with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.